Greetings and salutations, internet friends, and welcome back to another episode of the First Time Film Club. My name is Emily, your titular, wink, first-timer. This is Matthew, my husband, Cinema Sherpa, and viewer-submitted title, Celluloid Cicerone.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
It's a beer sommelier.
Oh.
I learned that too. That one was submitted by Coram Hayes. Thank you so much. You too can submit titles for Matthew by dropping in the comments below, leaving hashtag title so that I can find it more easily. And of course, we have Pippin, our perfect little pumpkin man. He's precious. He loves naps most of the time up here, but sometimes on the floor. So if he disappears, that's where he went. For those of you joining us for the first time, hello. How are you? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, what we're doing here is watching our way through a very long list of movies that typically I've never seen, but that Matthew has, i.e. Cinema Sherpa. Mm-hmm. That being said, I do know today is one of our Patreon poll winners. Pretty substantial win. Matthew, what are we watching?
Today we are watching the 1942 war romance film, Casablanca. And as per usual, I give you the year, genre, and title. You go on whatever you already know, then we watch it, review it. So, what do you know about Casablanca?
I know it's got Humphrey Bogart, I think. I'm pretty sure they wear, like, hats. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Okay, well, that's
You're doing
enough.
Great.
That's enough. That's all I know. I don't know, man.
All right. The only other thing for first-time viewers is you may see me with my phone in my hand at some point during the movie. That's because I'm taking notes on things to talk about afterwards. With that being said, I'm ready to watch.
Let's go. Oh, it's Warner Brothers. Yay. Ingrid Bergman, Casablanca. Oh, Claude Rains.
With the coming of the Second World War, Lisbon became the great embarkation point. Tortuous, roundabout refugee trails sprang up. Paris to Marseille to Oran, across the rim of Africa to Casablanca in French Morocco.
Yeah, that's a very roundabout way.
What's going on there?
I don't know, my dear.
Pardon, madame, have you not heard?
We hear very little, and we understand even less.
Because of your dumb hat comment, I can't stop looking at everybody's hats.
Well, there you go.
Major Staffer.
Unoccupied France welcomes you to Casablanca.
Thank you, Captain. It's very good to be here.
Everybody comes to Rick's.
I have already heard about this cafe and also about Mr. Rick himself.
Okay, Rick's. All right, that's the place
Everybody
to be.
comes to Rick's.
It leaves at 1 tomorrow night, third boat.
Thank you.
And bring the 15,000 francs in cash.
It's a lot of money. Wait, I don't know the exchange rate for francs, but still.
Will you ask Rick if he'll have a drink with us?
He never drinks with customers.
Perhaps if you told him I ran the second largest banking house in Amsterdam.
That wouldn't impress Rick. The leading banker in Amsterdam is now the pastry chef in our kitchen.
Oh, madame?
Monsieur.
There's so many languages rolling around right now. Hey, so I don't actually know what Humphrey Bogart looks like. So, like, is that him?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But when you first came to Casablanca, I
Wait.
thought... You thought what?
That guy. I swear he did voices for Looney Tunes.
Through ways of my own, I provide them with exit visas. For a price, Ugarte. Is that so parasitic? I don't mind a parasite. I object to a cut-rate one.
Oh, Jesus.
Letters of transit. You know, Rick, I have many a friend in Casablanca, but somehow, just because you despise me, you are the only one I trust. Will you keep these for me?
Makes sense to me.
I don't think you got friends, bud.
When you are blue, just knock on wood.
Do.
Boss is private stock. Because you won, I love you.
Oh, shut up.
All right. For you, I shut up. Because you won, I love you.
Give me another.
Sasha, she's had enough.
Don't listen to him, Sasha. Fill it up.
He won, I love you. But he pays me. Complain to Lisbon. You would like to be on it.
Why? What's in Lisbon?
Clipper to America. I've often speculated on why you don't return to America. Abscond with the church funds, you run off with the senator's wife. I like to think that you killed a man. It's the romantic in me.
It's the romantic in me.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, we'd have an important guest here tonight. Major Strasser, Third Reich, no less. There is a man arrived in Casablanca on his way to America. Will offer a fortune to anyone who'll furnish him with an exit visa.
Well, what's his name?
Victor Laszlo.
Victor Laszlo.
Rick, that is the first time I've ever seen you so impressed.
Escaped from a concentration camp. The Nazis have been chasing him all over Europe.
This is the end of the chase.
20,000 francs. Says it isn't.
Make it 10. I'm only a poor, corrupt official.
Oh, wow. At least he's an honest corrupt. Wait a minute.
Why two?
He is traveling with a lady.
Louis, whatever gave you the impression that I might be interested in helping Laszlo escape?
Because, my dear Ricky, I suspect that under that cynical shell, you're at heart a sentimentalist.
No.
You ran guns to Ethiopia. In 1936, you fought in Spain on the loyalist side.
Well, it seems that you're determined to keep Laszlo here.
I have my orders.
Oh, I see. Gestapo spank.
Oh.
In Casablanca, I am master of my fate. I am
Major Strasser's here, sir.
You were saying.
Yeah, what was that about being master of your own fate and all that jazz?
Carl, see that Major Strasser gets a good table, one close to the ladies.
I have already given him the best, knowing he is German and will take it anyway.
Jesus! Okay, I like Carl.
Monsieur Ugarte, will you please come with us?
May I first please kiss my chips? Thank you.
Oh, you fools! Oh, he's got a gun.
Rick, help me. Do something. You must help me, Rick.
When they come to get me, Rick, I hope you'll be more of a help.
I'd stick my neck out for nobody.
Yeah.
Sorry there was a disturbance, folks, but it's all over now. Everything's all right.
Just set this back up. Everything's cool.
What is your nationality?
I'm a drunkard.
Rick is completely neutral about everything, and that takes in the field of women, too.
I reserve the table. Victor Laszlo.
Yes, Monsieur Laszlo.
Just keep your head down, Sam. Just keep your head down.
The ring is quite unique.
Oh, yes, I'm very interested.
Victor.
I'll meet you in a few minutes at the bar.
The shadows are like...
May I present Miss Ilzalant? I was informed you were the most beautiful woman ever to visit Casablanca. That was a gross understatement.
No?
A bottle of your best champagne and put it on my bill. Very well, sir.
Captain, please.
Oh, please, monsieur. It is a little game we play. They put it on the bill, I tear up the bill.
Okay, that's funny.
It's a fun game for me.
May I present Major Heinrich Strasser?
Now you are a subject of the German Reich.
I've never accepted that privilege. Captain Renault, I'm under your authority. Is it your order that we come to your office?
Let us say it is my request. That is a much more pleasant word.
Oh, is it? And that's Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
Sorry. Like, how do you not know that woman?
I'm sorry.
But then again.
Hi, hello, welcome to the show.
Some of the old songs, Sam.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is Rick?
Leave him alone, Miss Elsa. You bad luck to him.
Oh, goodness.
Play it once, Sam. Play as time goes by.
A kiss is just a kiss.
Oh, I like this song. Mostly I like his voice. Oh, he come out mad.
Sam, I thought I told you never to play.
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Won't you join us for a drink?
Oh, no, Rick.
Thanks, I will.
Uh-huh.
Waiting for a lady.
Please, boss, let's go. Ain't nothing but trouble for you here.
Coming back. I know she's coming back. Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
I've heard that before.
Be a lot of lines from this movie you recognize.
Take it they were deeply invested. Oh, flashback.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Oh, hey. Hey.
Why I'm so lucky, why I should find you waiting for me.
Why there is no other man in my life?
Uh-huh.
There was. He's dead.
Mm.
Only one answer can take care of all our questions.
Alright.
Capitan. Nothing can stop them now. Wednesday, Thursday at the latest, they'll be in Paris.
I hate that I'm gonna have to mute like all of this.
Yep. That's what I was just thinking too.
I'll be honest with you.
It's a shame.
So far, my favorite thing about this movie is the music.
Here's looking at you, kid.
You are in danger and you must leave Paris.
No. We must leave. Now, the train for Marseille leaves at 5 o'clock.
I'll meet you at the station. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Oh, wasted champagne.
She checked out of the hotel, but this note came just after you left.
I can't go with you or ever see you again. Disbelieves that I love you. Oh, dang. Bitches, am I right? Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're the worst.
I know. Yes, I'm quite aware. Y'all, every time she comes on screen, just a little from this one.
Can I tell you a story, Rick? About a girl who had just come to Paris from her home in Oslo. She met a man about whom she had heard her whole life. And she looked up to him, and feeling she supposed was love.
I heard a story once. Mister, I met a man once when I was a kid.
I will say these older movies, like, perfected the single tear, right?
But you may be in Casablanca indefinitely, or you may leave for Lisbon tomorrow on one condition. You know the leader of the underground movement. You will furnish me with their names and their exact whereabouts. You will have your visa in the morning.
And the honor of having served the Third Reich.
I was in a German concentration camp for a year. It's honor enough for a lifetime.
The news about Ugarte upsets me very much.
You're a fat hypocrite. You don't feel that?
You're a fat hypocrite.
I love it.
Rick, I'll put my cards on the table. I think you know where those letters are.
Good company. Renault and Strasser probably think so, too.
Only 700 francs.
You're being cheated.
Did I say 700 francs? You can have it for 200.
Why did you come back? To tell me why you ran out on me at the railway station?
No, Rick. No, you see, Victor Laszlo is my husband.
Oh, damn.
And was, even when I knew you in Paris.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Senor Ferrari thinks it might just be possible to get the next visa for you. I'll stay here and keep on trying. I'm sure in a little while.
Might as well be frank, monsieur. It would take a miracle to get you out of Casablanca, and the Germans have outlawed miracles.
Damn.
Have you heard about Signor Ugarte and the letters of transit? Those letters were not found on Ugarte when they arrested him. I'll venture to guess that Ugarte left those letters with Monsieur Rick.
So what is he? Is he the leader of an underground, or he just, like, wrote, like, papers? A little bit of
kind
both?
of the one you come to for things on the black market.
No. I'm sorry. I meant Victor.
Oh, Laszlo?
Yeah.
He kind of published what would be probably considered like resistance papers.
Gotcha.
So Yvonne's gone over to the enemy.
Vous n'êtes pas française, vous, d'aller avec les boches comme ça?
Quoi vous mêlez-vous?
Je me mêle parce que je suis français, moi, ben quoi?
No.
What I said is none of your business.
I will make it my business.
Oh!
I don't like disturbances in my place. You either lay off politics or get out.
Carl, sit down. Have a brandy with us.
To celebrate our leaving for America tomorrow.
I thought you would ask me, so I brought the good brandy.
Love Carl.
Monsieur Rick,
Yes?
could I speak to you for just a moment,
How'd
please?
you get in here? You're underage.
I came with Captain Reno. My husband is with me, too.
He is. Well, Captain Reno's getting broad-minded. Sit down. Where's your husband?
At the roulette table, trying to win enough for our exit visas.
Go back to Bulgaria.
Oh, but if you knew what it means to us to leave Europe, to get to America.
Have you tried 22 tonight?
Je sentais la porte 22. Noir.
Oh.
Cash it in and don't come back.
Come to my office in the morning. We'll do everything businesslike. We'll be there at 6. I'll be there at 10.
Are you enough of a businessman to appreciate an offer of 100,000 francs?
I appreciate it, but I don't accept it.
There must be some reason why you won't let me have them.
There is. I suggested you ask your wife.
Play La Marseillaise.
Oh, shit. Oh, I got chills. Okay.
Yeah, sit down, shut up.
This is fun. Also, the French national anthem is like the most metal of national anthems. Oh,
Place
yeah.
to be closed.
Yeah.
But I've no excuse to close it.
Find one. How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
What?
You're winning, sir. Oh, thank you very much.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Shocked,
I say.
What happened with Rick?
We'll discuss it later.
Okay, so is that like her brother? I haven't seen them kiss. He said, I love you, but I mean, you can love a sibling.
Victor, please don't go to the underground meeting tonight.
I must.
Victor, why don't you tell me about Rick? What did you find out?
Apparently he has the letters. He suggested I ask you.
Okay, so I'm so confused.
You're thinking too much about it.
I am. I'm sorry.
You're looking for some kind of twist.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Of course I'll be careful.
Now, I saw Claude Rains listed. Have I just missed him completely?
Ooh,
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna let the comments roast you on that one.
I'm sorry. Who is he?
You know what? I think it's gonna be better for you to get to the credits and see this.
Why you gotta make me stupid look?
I mean, not really, because you've only seen Claude Rains and The Invisible Man, and you only saw him for like the last 10
fading
seconds.
in and out of existence. Burglar! Burglar!
I know how you feel about me, but I'm asking you to put your feelings aside for something more important. We loved each other once. If those days meant anything at all to you.
I wouldn't bring up Paris if I were you. It's poor salesmanship.
There's so much at stake. All you can think of is your own feeling. You are our last hope. If you don't help us, Victor Laszlo will die in Casablanca.
What of it? Gonna die in Casablanca. It's a good spot for it.
Mm.
Now, if you...
Oh, shit.
I tried everything. Now I want those letters.
Go ahead and shoot. You'll be doing me a favor.
The day you left Paris, if you knew what I went through, you knew how much I loved you. How much I still love you. It wasn't long after we were married that Victor went back to Czechoslovakia. That the Gestapo were waiting for him. Just a 2-line item in the paper. Victor Laszlo apprehended, sent to concentration camp. He was dead, shot, trying to escape.
Mm.
Then I met you.
And when did you first find out he was alive?
Just before you and I were to leave Paris together.
Mm.
I knew you wouldn't have left Paris and the Gestapo would have caught you, so
Well, you know the rest.
Mm.
I know that I'll never have the strength to leave you again. You'll see that he gets out. Then he'll have his work, all that he has been living for.
He won't have you.
I don't know what's right any longer. You have to think for both of us.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He's looking at you,
kid. Dude, don't worry about it. I'll think for both of us.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah.
You won't give me the letters of transit, but I want my wife to be safe. I ask you as a favor to use the letters to take her away from Casablanca.
Mm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What makes you think I'd stick my neck out for Laszlo?
1, you bet 10,000 francs he'd escape. 2, you got the letters of transit. Don't count too much on my friendship, Ricky. In this matter, I'm powerless. Besides, I might lose the 10,000 francs.
I'm leaving Casablanca on tonight's plane, the last plane. If instead of this petty charge you have against him, you could get something really big, something that would chuck him in a concentration camp for years.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be at my place a half an hour before the plane leaves. I'll arrange to have Laszlo come there to pick up the letters of transit, and that'll give you the criminal grounds on which to make the arrest.
Miss Lund, she's very beautiful, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you're the only one in Casablanca who has even less scruples than I.
Thanks.
I'm trying to listen to voices.
Tell me, when we searched the place, where were they?
Sam's piano.
Serves me right for not being musical.
But it's all right, isn't it? You were able to arrange everything.
Everything is quite all right.
Hurry.
We'll tell him at the airport. The less time to think, the easier for all of us. Please trust me.
I will.
Nah. He gonna shove you on that plane, homie.
Victor Laszlo? Hello, you're under arrest. Thank...
Uh-huh.
Nobody's going to be arrested, not for a while yet.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
I have. Sit down over there.
I have.
I love that response. You take leave of your senses? I have.
Yep.
Hello? Is that the airport?
Huh?
Ah.
Will you have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage?
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say.
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
Why my name, Richard?
Because you're getting on that plane.
Hmm.
9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid, Major Strasser would insist.
We'll always have Paris.
Aw, yeah.
He's looking at you, kid. She tried everything to get them and nothing worked. Did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. That was all over long ago. For your sake, she pretended it wasn't, and I let her pretend.
Oh.
The welcome extra fight. This time I know our side will win.
You good people there, Rick.
Well, I was right. You are a sentimentalist. I suppose you know this isn't going to be very pleasant for either of us.
Wait, is that him? Okay. His voice has been, like, higher. In The Invisible Man, it was very raspy.
Victor Laszlo is on that plane.
I was willing to shoot Captain Renault, and I'm willing to shoot you.
Ah.
Hello. Put that phone down.
Oh,
no! Major Strasser has been shot. Round up the usual suspects.
Oh, okay, Louis.
You're not only a sentimentalist, but you've become a patriot. Might be a good idea for you to disappear from Casablanca for a while.
You don't say.
It doesn't make any difference about our bet. You still owe me 10,000 francs.
10,000 francs should pay our expenses.
Our expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yay. I love this ending. Yay.
So, that was Casablanca. Overall thoughts?
Overall, I loved the plot, especially once we got to the end. That was what turned the movie around for me. I was enjoying it, but
what is it about the ending that made it better for you?
I just felt like it would have been so incredibly selfish if he would have encouraged her to stay. Nothing good can come of that. So the fact that he was willing to kind of essentially reestablish that love connection and kind of open his heart again and then let her go is like the ultimate act of love, And not only that, but he killed a Nazi. So,
Win-win.
Win-win. I loved the music. The music was phenomenal. My absolute favorite part of the movie was when they sang the French Revolution song, the French national anthem. That gave me physical chills. Yeah, that was beautiful. I loved that Casablanca is just this huge melting pot, right? There was, I think I counted 5 different languages being kind of bandied about. It's just wild. Obviously, being the age I am, I don't get a lot of the kind of wartime references and some of the nods and the things that they sort of stated in the movie that maybe were obvious at that time, but I had to really think through okay, now why are they, that's because this is this. So there's a lot of kind of historical juggling going on in my head, but overall I think you don't even have to be historically hyper aware of what was going on at this time to see the story and what is actually occurring. Everybody did a phenomenal job. All the cast was stupid good. Once I figured out who he was, Claude Rains was great.
Like I said, I'm going to give you a pass on that because you didn't really see him in The Invisible Man, and he did have a much different voice.
Yeah. So, okay, get off. I'm going to need you to get all the way off my back.
All right, let me get off that thing.
I loved Sam. He was great. I loved Carl. Just all the staff was just great. I think they found a really good balance between the terror that is fleeing the
Nazis.
The Nazis in general, balancing that with a romance story and also kind of comedic aspects that kind of were sprinkled throughout.
Yeah. It was very natural though.
Yes, it was. Everything kind of felt really
forced.
Yeah, kind of organic. I know you called me out at one point and it was so true. I was looking for there to be some big twist, right? But there wasn't. It's just pretty straightforward. There was a couple of times during the heavy romance scenes that I was a little kind of man. Mostly because, okay, sorry, Humphrey Bogart is fine, but that Henry fellow, he was pretty yummy.
Laszlo?
Yeah, Laszlo. He had that nice little scar thing going.
Oh, okay.
He had a fun accent too, and he's actively working for a cause. That's just hot. That's top to bottom. That's hot right there.
Okay.
And Rick was a little broody, and that's.
I mean, I understand.
I get it. You got plenty to brood about, dog. I understand.
The first time I ever watched this movie, I remember vividly being very angry at Rick, basically, because it's you're gonna sabotage the work of the resistance because you're in your feelings.
You're bitter. Yes. Yeah.
No, man. Grow up.
Yeah, that's pretty much where
There's something bigger than you going on.
That's pretty much where I was at, especially when she visited him there and was hey, we had this and I still love you and all of that. But he has to go. You can't be petty about this. I was a little angry at him there.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I watched it, I was very like, dude, grow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. But yeah, I love the ending. That's like the perfect ending for me. As far as like this whole romantic setup, that was it. That was perfect.
Always have Paris.
Yeah, that's super sweet. And yeah, so many of the little lines that I've known.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in how you were gonna view this or watch it, because it's been spoofed and like referenced so many times and so many other things.
For the most part, I was on part. Like, everything will always have Paris. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Everything except for Here's Looking at You, Kid. I think because that has been so hyper parodied, it didn't hit for me. I was just like, okay. I think once would have been enough, or maybe twice. Like once in the beginning and then once at the plane, right? I was like, okay, well, you said the line. That's fine. You can stop now.
Oh, so it was overused.
A little bit. But that's because I came at it from
knowing it beforehand.
So yeah, it's a little harder to compartmentalize years of this thing being referenced and spoofed and then seeing the original. Okay, well, all right then. Pippin said, that's enough of me talking. Can we get to notes?
Sure. Well, let me ask you a question. One thing I was worried about is this movie is so infamous, like it's so talked about. It's always brought up in conversations of like the greatest movies of all time. So I was wondering about your like expectations being too high going into the movie, and that was going to cause any kind of issues. Did that, or did this live up to the hype, or did you have any of those expectations before going in?
I'll be honest, I set the bar really low. Because everybody has said like, oh, you don't like romance, you should watch this movie, you will like it. And I was like, oh no. So I just assumed going in that I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as everybody assumed that I would. So I just I lowered the bar. You know, I didn't want to make any bold assumptions. I wasn't looking at it in a negative light. It was just like, just watch it and then you'll feel how you feel. So yeah, I wasn't like holding it up to some gold standard, because there's plenty of movies that are like, this is the best thing ever, that I'm like, eh. Okay. So yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because it does have like that reputation. It is like often cited as one of the best movies of all time, so things like that. Like actually, it was voted by the Writers Guild of America to be the best screenplay of all time.
Oh wow.
And the American Film Institute, they do their top 100 list, and they ranked Casablanca as the number 3 greatest movie of all time.
Wow.
Behind number 1, Citizen Kane, and number 2, The Godfather.
Which I haven't seen either of those either, so.
So, how did you feel about Humphrey Bogart, his portrayal of Rick, and chemistry between him and Ingrid Bergman?
So I think he actually did a really good job. He played he played the character exactly the way the character is supposed to be played, you know, like cynical, sort of aloof, broody, I've been scorned kind of type thing, especially in the beginning. Very detached from the whole situation. And then when she comes in, he did a really good job, because you see like that anger and the pain and everything that like of being left. I thought he did a really good job. Their chemistry in general, I feel like they certainly had a lot more. They seemed closer than she did with Victor, you know, because I never saw them. You never saw them kiss, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, she was really in love with Rick.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because one of the things I read about this movie is that often Humphrey Bogart's wife would accuse him of having an affair with Miss Bergman.
Oh.
And often she would do this in his dressing room before scenes were to be shot. So when he would come to set, he would be mad. He'd be angered.
Wow. Thanks for making my job easier, hon.
Yeah, the other thing I read is that they actually spoke, Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart spoke very little outside of the movie. I read they had the one time they did bond was when they had lunch with one of their friends. That friend said that the entire conversation of their lunch was about how they were going to want to try to get out of this movie, because they thought the dialogue wasn't good. They thought the scenarios were unbelievable. So
There were a few lines in there that were like really like boom. I remember just kind of being like going like, oh damn. But like maybe not necessarily their dialogue like between each other. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was fine. Calm down, y'all.
Speaking of like the dialogue and the script and the screenplay and all that, well, speaking of the like script and the screenplay being voted as the best screenplay of all time, in the 80s I read that this was given to writers, and it was largely criticized. Some of them recognized what it was. The ones that didn't criticized it for being dated, which that kind of makes sense.
Tracks.
But I've also read that they said that, you know, this isn't good enough to make a movie out of, and there was not enough sex. Did you have a favorite scene?
When they started singing La Marseillaise, or however you say that, the French.
Marseillaise. I know I'm butchering that.
Marseillaise.
The French national anthem.
Yeah.
Yes, when they did. Yeah, that's actually my favorite scene out of this whole movie. The reason I asked, because I figured that was probably going to be your favorite scene. It seemed to have the most emotional impact on you while it was happening. It also had a very big impact on a lot of the extras, because a lot of the extras in there were refugees, like fleeing from Nazi Germany.
Oh, so where did this take?
This is filmed during wartime.
No, but wait, I meant like, where was this filmed? Was it like on a set, or was this like on location?
No, this was on a set.
Okay,
actually,
all right. So there were actual refugees
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Who were also like being affected emotionally and like crying when that came up.
Well, so, okay, I think that is probably, in my opinion, I like to think that was where Rick started to change his mind. Like when he saw that. Because afterwards, then, you know, the next few things that kind of happened was he helped the young couple get out. And, you know, he started, I think that he started like the I don't care about anybody but me facade sort of broke after that scene. Maybe I'm wrong, but like...
Captain was right. He's a sentimentalist.
And, you know.
Also speaking of those like filming during wartime and having like restriction on what they could use and what they could build, it led to some creative visual effects work.
Okay.
Like you'll probably notice it after I tell you on a rewatch when you're editing. They couldn't film at an airport at night during wartime because of security reasons. So they did it on a soundstage, and they had a cardboard cutout of a plane. It was a little smaller, and they used this forced perspective to make it look life-size.
Smart.
And they also used little people as the crew for like loading the luggage and stuff to give it that.
Oh wow! Okay, all right.
That sense of perspective.
Okay. Do they use like stock footage or whatever of the actual plane?
Yeah, they use stock footage of that, and I think some stock footage of Paris when the planes are flying over the tank, like just general World War II stock footage.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's most of the notes and things we had in conversation. There's some other stuff, but I think we covered most of it. So you want to go to ratings?
Yeah. I will go ahead and tell you just, okay, objectively, cinematically, it is an absolutely gorgeous movie. So the up-close shots, it helps that it has a lot of gorgeous people in it.
Yeah.
The music was fantastic. Cast was great. Dialogue was pretty tight. The only thing that I was kind of meh about was the, you know, the clutching and the holding close and the, you know, the like schmaltzy romance of it. But they subverted that for me, and he let her go, and that made it so much better. Before the airport scene, probably would have given this an 8. Now it's a 9. It's a 9 for me. What about you?
This is a 8.5 for me.
Okay, all right. Pippin, what would you rate this one? Oh. What was that? 10. 10 here's looking at you, Beans. Okay. All right. I'll allow it.
We'll always have 10 beans.
We'll always have 10 beans. All right. Well, y'all heard it here. 9, 8.5, 10 here's looking at you, Beans. Y'all let us know, what would you rate it? What did you think? Is this as high as some of the film institutions have rated it for you? Do you have any additional facts, tidbits, behind the scenes information? We'd love to hear about that. And based on my reaction, what would you suggest we watch next in this kind of similar vein? If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the video And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. We greatly appreciate it. That's all from me. Anything from you?
No, I'm good.
Pippin's going back to sleep.
Yep.
Y'all take care, and we will see you next time with another First Time. Bye.